In today's video, we're going to look at importing data, and this time using the GoogleFinance function. This function is unique to Google Sheets, and it is designed to pull finance data from the Google Finance sites into your spreadsheet. The data imported with this function is not meant for share dealing purposes. So bearing that in mind, we'll have a look at some of the functionality within Google Finance function. I'm using the old version of Google Sheets for this because some parts of the Google Finance function works in the new version, but not all of it as yet. So let's look firstly at just getting the most up-to-date share price. So I've entered GOOG, which is the ticker for Google shares, and where I've highlighted the cell in orange, I'm going to enter in the Google Finance function. So it's equals Google Finance, and in this instance I just have to enter one parameter. So it's a parameter here in cell B1 and press return. So the share price available to Google Finance function is $1,189.06. Let's have a look at the Google Finance function using two parameters. So we're going to keep with the Google ticker, but we're also going to add an attribute of market cap. So equals Google Finance, reference cell B1 and cell B2, close bracket, press return. And this returns the current market capitalization of the Google Corporation. Now we'll have a look at getting some share price history. Again, I'm just going to concentrate on the Google ticker. Attributes are all, and we'll see what that relates to in a minute. And now we're going to have a start date and an end date. The end date, I've just entered the volatile function equals today. So that reads the today's date of my machine, my PC or Mac. And the start date, I've put in as another formula equals today minus 365.25 multiplied by 5. So I'm basically looking for a date 5 years in the past, which will give me 5 years of share prices for Google, and the period I've set as weekly. This can be weekly or daily, or set as 1 or 7. They mean the same thing. So I just return weekly share prices for Google between these dates. Okay, let's enter the formula. So equals Google Finance. So enter the first ticker, then attributes all, the start date, the end date, and the period to be returned. Close bracket, press return, and it's now loading. And there we go. So this is pulling in live data, and it brings in the earliest date, and if I scroll down to the current date, or close to the current date as possible. The attributes all means that it's bringing in the opening price, the closing price, the highest, the daily highest price, the daily lowest price, and the volume traded. And if we want, we can represent this graphically very easily. If I go up and click into the data and then go up to the toolbar and select Insert Chart, and I can have a choice of charts. So I'm going to choose a timeline chart, and I'm happy enough with that. So I'm not going to change anything, and I'm going to click on Insert. And now we have a graphical representation of the Google share price over several years. This chart is quite useful for share prices because although this is currently taking in the 5-year period, I can click on where it says 1Y just to get the share price over the last 12 months, over the last 6 months, and so on. You can also use Google Finance to get exchange rates. The ticker you put in is in a specific format, and the keyword to use here is currency : then followed by the currency converting from and the currency converting to. So I want to convert the exchange rate for converting euro into US dollars. So the ticker is currency : EUR for euro, USD for US dollar. So type in Google Finance. And reference the ticker, close bracket. So the current returned exchange rate between the two currencies is $1.38.58. In the notes attaching to this video, I've listed several other currency exchange tickers for you to use. And similarly with currency history, we can use GoogleFinance to give us a history in exactly the same way. So we have an opening date, closing date, and a daily interval. And this time we're just looking for the close attribute, the date, the exchange rate at time of market closing. So it's equals Google Finance. So the ticker, the attribute, start date, the end date, and the interval. Press return. And there we have the weekly returned exchange rates for euro to US dollar. Thank you for watching.